this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare to write about a structure using descriptive language. First, I'm going to repeat the textbook content about keywords. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to prepare academic words. And finally, I'll show you my own example that uses lots of descriptive language using adjectives and a few adverbs. So let's get started. The first thing that you've got to know is that you can use the internet to find interesting and beautiful structures. Just do a quick web search and look for ideas. As you can see on the right, my idea was to talk about the London Eye, which is a big Ferris wheel in London City. That means you can choose something from within Japan or from any country that you can find. Once you've decided, go to the internet, search Wikipedia or other travel websites for reviews. You want to find language, words used by writers when describing structures like buildings or famous landmarks. When you do this, you can pick up words to use in your own writing. However, the fourth point here, and this is really important, you must not copy whole sentences and paragraphs into your writing. If you do this, it is not your writing. You'll get a very low score and you'll be committing something called plagiarism, something we don't want at all. Okay, so in our preparation, before you even start writing sentences, get your idea and then think of keywords that describe the structure you're going to talk about. So we had in the textbook things like size, colors, materials, and what it looks like, as well as shape. In my example, size, I've put enormous. It's a really big wheel, so enormous is a good word. It's also an academic word. Next, we've got shape. There's nothing interesting here. Basically, it's a big circle, so we can say it's circular. And oval for the passenger capsules that are attached to the outside of the wheel. Colors, again, doesn't seem very interesting. It's just white. And materials, very basic again, metal and glass. And what does it look like or resemble? Well, to me, it looks like a giant bicycle wheel with glass eggs attached to the outside. As you can see, at this point, it doesn't look very interesting. But don't worry, your basic ideas is the foundation from which you're going to build something really interesting. Okay. So the next part we're going to look at are these academic words. And the good news is you only need a few. So you don't need to go out and study the whole back of the textbook where there are 3,000 academic words. You just need to pick up a few to use in your writing. And that's one thing you can get by reading reviews from travel websites and going to the internet. It'll give you ideas of words that people commonly use. The textbook also gives you an idea. On page 3, if you look how many academic words, you'll find there are only 7 words used. So the textbook also has a great example for you. You don't need a lot of academic words. My example I'm going to show you next has only 3 academic words. And if you want to do well in this first assignment, you need to use more than 3 academic words in your writing. The words I used are similar to the textbook, structure and consists. One new word, enormous, is in the back of the textbook in the 3,000 word dictionary that you have. So there you have it. Academic words, you only need a few, and they add interest and depth to your writing. So at this point, you might want to stop the video and take a read of the paragraph that I wrote about the London Eye. Okay, so if you've read through the paragraph, you'll have noticed that some of the words are yellow and some are a kind of orangey color. These words, the yellow words, are my academic words, and the orange color words, again, go back to the keywords I used to prepare. So as you can see, I've included each of these words in my writing. Each of the sentences answers a different point about what I want to talk about. The first sentence and first point is the topic sentence. It tells us the topic, which is the London Eye, and it tells us what it is. It's a structure. So the London Eye is a structure I'm going to talk about. The next sentence tells us where it is and what it is. So it's on the River Thames, and basically it's a really enormous 135 meter tall wheel that consists of 32 luxurious, and here's my keyword, oval passenger capsules. The next sentence tells us what the capsules look like and how they move. The next sentence tells us that on top of the London Eye, you can get a really great view of London City. The next sentence goes to our planning again and uses the information about the color. So the wheel is completely white. That's not very interesting. So I add more information that tells us that on certain occasions the wheel lights up in different colors. And that's really nice. And you can take lots of photos when it's like that. The last sentence is just a comment. Basically, my comment about the London Eye is that I'd love to ride it. Actually, I've never ridden it. But sadly, I'm afraid of heights, which is also true. So this is writing about something I've never been to, and I'm actually not intending to go to because I'm afraid of heights. What I got was to look at travel writing websites, Wikipedia, and reviews to get idea of words that other people used. With those words, you can see here, I made a more interesting paragraph by using lots of green and blue words. The green words are adjectives, and the blue words are adverbs. As you can see, there are not many adverbs in my writing, and that's okay. The really important thing that you need in your writing is lots and lots of adjectives. And the easiest way to think about this is to go back to your keyword. So, for example, structures. That was an academic word. So, key words, and then before the keyword, how many adjectives can I add? I recommend only using maybe 2, 3, 1, no more than 3. Otherwise, your sentence is going to be too long and a little difficult to read. So here you can see first keyword was structures, and I've used popular and modern. Next keyword was talking about the shape. Here we've got wheel, and my keywords are it's an enormous 135 meter tall wheel. And then we get onto the passenger capsules. What do they look like? They're luxurious, oval, and air-conditioned. So lots of information about the capsules, and we go on with different words. One more I'll mention is the views of London. Before the views of London, we have 2 words, incredible panoramic views. Now, when you write, you may have written words like a great view of London. And that's okay, but when you look at travel writing and other people's ideas, you can pick up different words that they use. So rather than saying it has a nice view or a great view or a beautiful view, you can search for words that have more specific meanings. For example, an incredible panoramic view is more specific than it has a great view. It just gives more detail. And you'll learn these words if you do reading and search for examples on the internet. That's all I'm going to say. You can actually pause the video again and look at the kinds of adjectives I've used. The most important part of your writing is going to be the adjectives and how many you add to make your writing specific and interesting. So let's recap. You find an idea, you look for reviews that will give you ideas for keywords. You use your basic keywords to organize your writing, and then you write a basic paragraph. In your basic paragraph, make sure you have your academic words. When that's finished, you can go back and look at your keywords and academic words and start to add your adjectives and adverbs if you haven't already. You can add more to make it more interesting. And if you follow this process, you're going to end up with a piece of writing that is really good and going to get you a very high score on the first assignment. That's all for this video. I hope some of it's useful for you. And if you do have any questions, then you can always find me and ask me to explain a bit more. Good luck, and I look forward to reading your compositions.